We're live! Here we go. Naruto 684, episode 3, 6. And this was good. We went back old school now. I didn't take a time out to make sure everybody's ready, but hopefully everybody's got their chapters open.
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Front page. There we go. And we got the reconfirmation from Sakura that Obito is terminal. Right? He's got what, days, whatever. He's gonna die. Years, whatever. But he's gonna die. He couldn't get brought back all the way, which a lot of people said is good because that means Naruto has limits. Okay, even if you bring someone back from the brink of death, they can't bring them back all the way.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a good thing. There's a lot of good things in this, and of course, you know the king of roaches himself, Obito. That means
yeah.
he's got a time limit, right? So this is good for everybody, whether you like Obito or don't. There's a time limit. He's getting the end closures happening, and as a matter of fact, I want to say, as much as I am an Obito hater, people like Obito, it's fine to me, but I don't like Obito. But his dialogue has actually been pretty good. He's been like pretty honest. You know, that the things he's done is beyond being forgiven, and you know, all this kind of stuff. So,
yeah,
it's good stuff. All right, and now they're going to get ported out, and like I said, we can always go back. You know, I will kind of move through this. If you got anything, go ahead and speak up. All right, I'm moving through.
It looks like the reason why he's talking the way how he's talking now is because he knows he's gonna die. He's already accepted his fate, so he's just gonna go balls out and help them one last time.
Yeah.
Before he goes. So that is confirmation of turning from being this evil person to, oh, Kakashi's my friend this whole time. Let me just help him one last time as a teammate.
And this is getting a little weird. Okay, so she sees them. Naruto's got his trap. I'm on the next page. And so he's waiting, but she sees him. And Kakashi, who's just basically, he's almost being like Black Zetsu. He's just recording things. Right?
Yeah.
He's just watching. He's a viewer. He's like us. He's like, this is going on there. That's happening here. And in other words, keeping your attention focused on us. So they got to do their things. Now, she comes in for the attack. And then, of course, as we've talked about before we even get started, as everybody's talked about, and they had to do a flashback of that Jitsu, didn't they? So I like his thinking here. I like that they're showing it. Look, even if I do another one of these, it's pointless. You know, if I do some stupid, huge Jitsu, she'll just absorb it. And then it really does come down to one strategy working best, a distraction, and then Taijutsu, right? So, and then I believe on the next one he goes in and says, well, I can't use the same one again. I can't use the surprise sexy technique as a diversion anymore. And I got to get back to my basics. Now I want to stay here for a minute. Now in this chapter and off and on, Kishimoto really has gone back to basics quite a few times, and most of it, I mean, the humor, he's trying to bring the humor back. It seems like as we're getting to the end, he's falling back more on what we liked about, most of the stuff we liked about.
Yeah,
Okay,
nostalgia.
The nostalgia, but some of the real core stuff, because, you know, to stuff that most of it works. So,
Yeah.
So he's got his plan, Naruto's there, and especially stuff we'll see, like I said, in the rest of this chapter. And this, and then she's like, this here, the translations have not been good in some places lately. This is my domain. There's nothing you can do. I'm just going to paraphrase. And then, Naruto, are you ready? I'm going to push your chakra up to the boiling point all at once. Was that the Four Tails? I don't remember that. One of the ones we didn't encounter much. Oh, the 5? Okay. And give you unrivaled physical strength. So he's ready, and he already has crazy speed and everything else. So if he can get to her, he should be able to make something happen. Now, this is where I'm going to need you guys' help as we get into this. Look at all the clones that he made. right? I mean, that's pretty crazy. And then the Nine Tails is like, I've refined your chakra. So because of the Nine Tails, he's able to do all kind of stuff, transfer chakra, change it, do whatever. So that worked pretty well. Okay. And then he's got the attack, and I don't remember where it is. And right now, of course, he fires back. He goes, right now, this is my domain. And which I thought was pretty good. And she's having problems countering just this huge number of them. But also, and this is like what I said in the review, she can't simply do massive destructive AoE because her goal is to get the chakra back from him while he's alive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's got the same problem that Madara had with Obito there. He's like, I can't just, AoE, area of, just destroy everything in the area because you're here, Obito, and I need you to bring me back, right? So she's got the same problem, and now she's getting overwhelmed because she can't go all out. Naruto's, and I guess there's different, Naruto's dimension-filling combo, whatever. He gets that trait, I guess, from his father. I thought that worked pretty well. Give him crazy names.
I thought it was gonna be in one of those Uzumaki barrages back in the day.
Yeah.
That's what I thought he was going for. Says it in the syllables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish Toby Rama would have been there to either give it a better name or claim he'd invented it or something.
Yeah.
Wait, I wanted to throw this out there.
Yeah.
Okay, with Naruto, well, Naruto is mostly fighting Kage. In his mind, is he's doing the shoulda, coulda, woulda? Like when he was fighting Madara, like he could have done some things that he should have done. You think he's having a second chance of his attacks with Kage?
You mean to redeem himself or something?
Well, in that aspect, yeah. Like
It could be.
Yeah, when he was fighting Madara, some of the things he could have done, he didn't really do as much because Sasuke was fighting him. But now that he's fighting Kage, he's like, okay, I'm gonna start using my attacks now. Like it's my time now. You think he has that mindset, like when he's doing his attacks now, because he's getting powers up from the Five Tails and from the Nine Tails also, because the Nine Tails told him, I prepared chakra for you, Naruto.
I think that, the Sasuke angle, I think that he and Sasuke are not a good team. They don't like or respect each other. Sasuke doesn't respect him, and Naruto doesn't like him. And they don't, it's like they're a lot better on their own, to be honest. So, except for them having to be together to seal. Okay, and then we get to the part that he's... Now here we get into the thing. Is this really him that went in there? Or remember, this is what I said in my review. What jutsu did Hashirama give Naruto, right? Wasn't there something he gave Naruto?
No, Hashirama?
Yeah, I thought didn't Hashirama give Naruto something also?
I thought he gave Sasuke something.
Well, I know both Tobirama and Hashirama gave Sasuke something. I thought he gave Naruto something, but if he didn't, then what I'm going to say here is wrong. But I thought he gave Naruto something. But maybe he didn't. But anyway, so the whole thing is, I think we all know that Naruto's not going to... If he does die in this series, which is doubtful, but he's not going to die like this, right? So...
Hashirama gave Naruto a way to make a better clone.
That's what I thought. I thought that he gave him some kind of jutsu or something. And we all know that Sasuke got something. And glad you made it, James. But anyway, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself in the chapter. So Naruto gets in there, and I still love Black Zetsu as this awesome, the teeth and eyes and everything, and going all over.
Yeah.
I love this guy as an evil sidekick. I think this guy's massively awesome.
He's like a ghoul.
He is. He's just awesome. And the only problem with this is we just need more Kaguya dialogue. Okay. And I thought, well, anyway, like I say, once again, I keep getting ahead of myself. Okay, and they vanished. It appears as though a couple of them flocked in after us. The other two exhausted their chakra and disappeared. It appears your clones didn't have enough chakra, So you're the original. And that's what I'm saying is if Hashirama gave him something, then it would be that ability that he had to have that super clone, the one only Madara could see, the one that was just ultra tough clone that could survive, and that would be this. But if I'm wrong, and Hashirama didn't give anything, then this is just ultra tough clone for whatever reason. That or he's simply gonna heal himself because he definitely didn't die. So, and then they talk about the resonance, the whole thing about them having the yin and yang, so he'll be able to find him. So now we're getting to the part. This ninja known as Naruto. This is a pretty good part. This known as Naruto, who used that weird jutsu on us earlier. Since the beginning, we have had no idea what to do with him, but now it has become clear. Right? We must kill him. He's got to go. And then Kage comes back with the whole thing. We can't do that. We need to absorb the chakra of those children. Right? And when Mother transforms the world's dimensions, it uses up an immense amount of chakra. We also need to prepare the chakra we have currently for that time. This is kind of big. So does this mean, now when he says transforms, it almost seemed like it was traveling, but it sounds like when she goes in there and starts just using the land and everything in there to fight with, that seems to be the part that's using up a lot of chakra, not necessarily her travel. At least the way I don't know if somebody else has got a different translation.
I agree with you. I think every jutsu has its weakness, and hers is the chakra drain it takes on her.
Yeah, because she's using the land, everything around her. And now, what is that we have currently for that time? So, what are they going to do in that time? Are they going to do some massive transformation of these different? And we also find in here that there's 5 dimensions, right? So anyway, so he's, they get the whole thing. So she's wanting their chakra, but he's like, look, we got to get rid of them because you don't want to get sealed again, right? And we have enough. It's better than having the plan we've waited all these long years for to pop like a bubble. We've waited for Black Zetsu. We really do need to know who this is. Somebody's making some noise. And then she goes, Kimimaro with the bones?
Yeah.
I did not understand what was going on to begin with. And then it's like, holy cow. So she's using that transport technique, and then she's got the die. I love it when he does that.
It was a nice move.
Black Zetsu, die. Oh, yeah, it explodes. Holy.
I didn't understand that part.
It looked like it disintegrates. Like whatever it touches, it disintegrates. Not like it explodes.
Well, the name of it was something exploding something, wasn't it? I didn't even, actually, I skipped over the page.
When she used the attack, it shows ash bones of mutal killing.
Okay.
On the bottom when she does it.
All right, it is beautiful. It's quite a hole in him, huh?
Yeah,
I think it's called Suicide Ash Bones.
Yeah, that's what he got on my translation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but for me, the whole fact that a clone could do that, I thought a clone just puffed, when they got hit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but remember Hashirama's, right? His was tough, and also even I'm going to say the name wrong. The other guy, the Wood Style, the one that was a baby, survived. They were experimenting on it. But yeah. His clones were a lot tougher. So that was something. Okay. Wood clones are just a lot tougher. So, but that is the thing there. What is what is it? Is it a clone? And it's we know he's not dead. So she comes back. I killed the original. Why haven't they vanished? But so this is the scenario. That is a clone that took the hit, right? And his whole plan to begin it with was to mix in with these clones, so that she thought she dealt with him, and then nail her, which I like that best. Or that actually was him that got nailed, but he's going to be able to heal himself because he's Naruto Jesus right now, and he's going to be able to go find Sasuke or whatever. So anyway, we're kind of at the end. I kind of flew right through it. Who wants to, take a crack at it first? Or I can just go down the line. Anthony, what do you got on here? Anything in this chapter?
Not in particular. I mean, I just this is a big combat chapter. There wasn't much. I didn't feel like it was progressing the story along too much.
Well, where's the real Naruto? Was that him that took the hit, or is he back with the other clones?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of throws out the rule where they kind of poof and disappear when they get hit. But like you said, maybe he got something from Hashirama, which I don't remember that happening, but it's very possible that I just forgot. I cruise through these chapters sometimes. So, but yeah, I think it's pretty clear that it's obviously not the real Naruto. I mean, it can't be, otherwise he'd be dead.
What do you think?
He didn't have the truth. Well, I don't know what they call those balls on his back, but he didn't have any balls around his back.
Oh yeah, those chakra, those.
Yeah, it's supposed to call them truth-seeking balls. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looked to me like he has to go into a mode in order to get that, because it's like he switches off and on.
Well, still, I mean, I'm still gonna hold it. Is Naruto in that core universe, core dimension, or is he with the other clones? What do you think, James?
What page are we on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We we're on the last page of the chapter, but we just literally opened it up, so we got questions or anything we can go at it. So anyway, James, where do you think Naruto is? Is he in the core dimension, or is he with these clones?
I think it'd be more interesting now, but because they had a panel, they showed him going up through the door with Kaguya, but for him not to be there is kind of a letdown now.
All right, life in the boot. All right, let me keep it moving. Life in the boot. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it would be too easy if Naruto's still in that other dimension. That way he can meet up with Obito. They slap hands. He got chakra. Find Sasuke. Unless he want to speed it up. So I just hope he's still in the other dimension with Kakashi, really.
Well, I don't even see. The thing is I don't know. I mean, what's he gonna do in his core dimension? Can he just reach his hand out and grab somebody, and pull him in? I don't know if he can. He's capable of traveling dimensions, even if he knows he's in one of them. I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure Obito he can sense Naruto if he in that dimension.
Well, hold on. Well, yeah, but see, that's now we got to get to Obito. So in other words, what is Naruto's purpose in that core dimension? Since he can't actually, he can just say he's that way, right? Other than that, what can he do? So anyway, all right. So NW order. Hold on a second. We'll get to you next. Michael Gethman, what do you think? First question is he? Where's Naruto? Is he in the core dimension or is he with the clones?
Maybe in the core dimension. I thought I read somewhere that you could travel through that one dimension's linked to all the rest of them. So maybe he can find a way to get to Sasuke.
But how is he going to get back?
I don't know. Maybe use Sasuke's Rinnegan.
Yeah.
But really, she'll come to them if they do get together. So.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it'd be like he could say, "Hey, Obito, it's this way." That's the only thing I can think of. But if he just hops in there, then I don't know what they're going to be able to do. But is there anything else? And then after we get over this question, I'll go back and we'll open it up to anybody who's got anything. Well, somebody's. Hold on, Sean. Hold on, Sean. NW order. What do you think?
Yeah. About the core dimension thing, I think Naruto. I think the real Naruto jumped inside dimension after Kaguya, and then inside that dimension, Obito pulled the switcheroo with the clone and Naruto. So the one that went in was the real one, the one that came out was the clone. And I think the real Naruto was teleported somewhere in the core dimension. He's looking for Sasuke.
Pipe in the boot. You're killing us with your mic, brother. Wow. Okay.
So how does that sound to you guys? Make sense?
Sounds good to me.
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind to go back to that and flesh it out a little bit more, here in a little bit. Sean, what do you think? First, like I say, my first question is where is Naruto? Is he in the core dimension or is he back to his other clones?
I didn't agree with NW Order.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing, but it looked like they already have a plan on what they're going to do and how her dimension jutsu works. So they did like how do I explain it? You know how when Naruto he could transform into anything as a clone?
Yeah.
Most likely he did that, and he's with Kakashi and Naruto. But the clone that Kaguya and Black Zetsu saw, they thought it was the real Naruto, but they actually with Kakashi and Naruto. So she went back to the snow dimension, and everybody else is at the other dimension.
Well, what we do know is what Obito is back with Sakura in his own dimension, right? Because he says, thanks to Naruto, we're able to hide in my dimension, but now, even if it was just his clone, we don't have Naruto here anymore. It all depends on you. So Obito and Sakura are back in his dimension, right? And Kaguya's come back to the snow world where Kakashi is. And then we're just not sure about Naruto. But NW Order, let's go ahead and flesh about as far as the whole Obito Naruto thing.
Okay, can I throw this one last thing? Do you think Kakashi made a?
Do I think Kakashi what?
Well, it's for everybody. Do you think Kakashi made a clone also? Wait, where is it? I'm gonna point it out.
Well, I don't think his would be able to take a direct hit.
Like a clone of Naruto, or
No, a clone of Kakashi, because there was a panel that Kakashi said that, oh, I entered the dimension with Obito, but he's already in another dimension. It looked like he made a clone also.
I don't think any clone besides Naruto's clone is going to be able to go through the dimensions, because Black Zetsu was almost positive that any clone that was in there would have disintegrated, poofed, or whatever. So I'm pretty sure that's the real Kakashi standing there observing. And
Yeah.
commentating.
All right, now NW Order, so you're saying that Naruto Naruto and Obito switched or something? If you don't mind, go ahead and flesh out what you're.
Basically, you know how Naruto loves to surprise and deceive.
Right.
He and Obito probably pulled a switcheroo, meaning Kaguya escaped into the dimension, and the real Naruto went in after her. And then while inside, my guess is while inside the dimension, Obito kamui'd Naruto out of there and into the center dimension, where Sasuke is or whatever, and the core dimension. And the clone that was with Obito and Sakura, he took the real Naruto's place. So the real Naruto goes inside, and then the clone comes out, making Kaguya think it's the same person.
So you're saying that he kamui'd a clone to go in there and take the hit? I'm kind of not following.
Because Obito said that when he came out of the dimension, he said he was hiding him and Sakura.
Right.
So it's logical to say he was also hiding the real Naruto. And while he dropped him and Sakura off there, he might have dropped Naruto off somewhere else, is what I'm saying. I seriously doubt the real Naruto is with all those clones in the Ice Dimension. I'm almost certain that he's searching for Sasuke right now by himself in the core dimension.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree too.
So you're saying that the one that took the hit was a clone?
Yes. Yes, the one who took the hit was the clone that got switched out while the real Naruto was following Kaguya. They just switched places, kind of.
Okay.
I'm glad to see this in slow motion now.
Deception.
Now I understand what you're saying. So he's not with the other clones. He is in the core dimension, and his clone took the hit, and he's now in that core dimension. Okay.
Right. I mean, and it explains why there's no clone with Obito and Sakura, because we already know Black Zetsu's reasoning was there's no clone, so only the real Naruto is there, right? But we know it was a clone because that Naruto that died, didn't make all the other clones go off. So obviously it was a clone that was killed, and since the clone that was with Obito and Sakura is gone, he logically has to be the one that was killed. Right?
Well, yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I'm taking it another direction.
Yeah, I still think he's with the other clones, but I like that idea. That's something I have to think about. Thanks to Naruto, we're able to hide it, even if it was just his clone. We don't have.
I mean, Naruto is like a magician, like you scratch your head and you turn left and right, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Like when he's fought in part 1, turn himself into pebbles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he does amazing things that surprise and amaze, and that's what he pretty much did to Kage. He did just like a magic trick. Like what the hell? That should have been the real one. Where is he?
Yeah, but all those old tricks were him, where the clones were like around him or something, and he was with them, which would go old school. But and I don't know. We got translations and everything. It's just, thanks to Naruto, we're able to hide in my dimension now, even if it was just his clone. We don't have Naruto here anymore. So the transporting was the problem. I don't know. Was it he used up the clone's energy? Is what it sounds like here. I like your theory, but that would have meant that. But that clone that he made was made earlier. So does that mean all his clones are that hefty to when they can take a hit like that?
I mean, it could just be that
seems. Well, that would be a weak point because either all his clones, like I said, the clone that was with him was made well before he super chakra'd up, right?
Right.
Okay, so that would be an unsuper, unless all his clones now can take direct hits like with a giant drill bit. So.
Yeah, his clones earlier chapter were just all pooping away as they got hit.
Let me just go further into my thought. Here. Black Zetsu says Naruto and 3 others went inside the dimension, right? Isn't that what he says? Let's see if I'm right.
There was like a couple of other clones that didn't make it. Yeah, their chakra faded out. They're gone.
Let me see. He says, I don't know where the page it's on, but if went with them, then the reason he would think that the clone died was because only one Naruto came out, right? So, the deceiving, the surprising factor would be no, the clone didn't die. The clone, just switched places with the real one. That would be like the shock value that Kishi could surprise us with. It could be, like what I said before, the whole thing that I explained. But it also could be something, lame. It could be like, the real Naruto just sent the clone in after Kaguya and didn't go in himself. And that could be the reason. But I think it makes a lot more sense for the real one to be searching for Sasuke right now, rather than just being there with all the clones.
Yeah, well, I don't think any of these theories are necessarily lame. It's just where are the strong and weak points of them. Like I say, and the weak point of this is his clones being able to get drilled, having the middle drilled out of them without, discombobulating. But I mean, maybe that's the way his are now. That's a weak point of it. But let me put it this way: I like that theory. I like the other one. I think the other one is more old school, but I can deal with any of them as long as Kishimoto explains it, makes some sense.
Yeah, well, hopefully he will. But
yeah,
I found the page, manga stream, page 15 on the top right corner. He says, it appears as though a couple of them flocked in after us. The other 2 exhausted their chakra and disappeared. So Black Zetsu thinks that he doesn't know about Obito and Kakashi going in there. He thinks that they were probably all Naruto clones and that they disappeared because their chakra ran out or something to that effect.
Right.
So a couple of them, he could have sensed like 3 and then 2 and then he said 2 disappeared.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'm sticking
I think we understand where you're coming from. Like I say, the only weak point I've seen, it all comes back to how that thing survived. It keeps going back to that point. Now, if things turned out the way you said, like I said, well, anyway, we're repeating ourselves. I think we all understand. Now, is there anything else? Let me open this up before we get to the anime, which everybody liked a lot this week also. Is there any other points? I mean, if there's more you want to explain on that, but I know I'm saying 2 or 3 times now, huh?
I think we're all good with my explanation on that.
I think
I want to say that I really liked how badass Naruto was when Kage was like, "This is my dimension," and then he just filled the entire dimension with his clones. He was like, "No, this is my dimension." That was pretty
worked
cool.
out really well. Worked
I
out
was
really
like,
well.
"Yeah, tell them."
All right. Is there anything about the chapter that you guys want to? I liked it overall. Was there anything else you guys want to bring up before we go to the anime?
Did you guys talk about how her move is Kimimura's move?
Yes.
Bone move.
Yes, we did.
That was
That was pretty awesome. And that's old school. It's that was something we were talking about even before we got started on here. Was most of, not all, but most of the stuff that Kishimoto's done is returning old school. It's going right back to the roots of stuff, and most of it has worked, I think, pretty well. So.
Yeah. Another thing, we've seen Naruto get the 4 Tails gave him that magma Rasengan. The 1 Tails gave him that Sealing Rasengan. The 5 Tails gave him super strength, and now Kurama gives him the ability to make like 1,000,000 clones. What are the other Tails he's going to give him? It's kind of interesting to figure that out. Hopefully not just all Rasengan variants.
That's all Naruto know.
Yep. All right. Anything before we get to the anime? Anything else you guys want to bring up? All right. Go ahead, Sean.
At the last chapter or the last page, okay, on the top I see Obito and Kakashi, and on the bottom I see Kakashi in the snow dimension, and I see Kakashi on the core dimension. And Kakashi said that it seems I entered fine. I still think that Naruto transformed himself into Kakashi, and then he transformed him back to go look for Sasuke with Obito.
That's a bad translation.
Yeah, I think you could. In the manga stream translation, he says it looks like you managed to make it in, Obito. Like make it into the core dimension. And it clearly looks like Kakashi standing on snow, whereas the ground under Sakura and Obito's feet looks totally different.
Yeah.
You could mistake Sakura for.
And that's an issue. These translations can, as usual, cause a lot of problem. But manga streams, it's been going down the last month.
I'm reading it from Manga Panda. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Okay, but it's still the same problem. The translations sometimes can lead us down some really bad paths. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the anime if you guys don't mind.
One other thing, did we talk about the connection Naruto and Sasuke have? That Naruto can sense him, like, even though he was like dimensions apart. Like even in the snow dimension, he could sense Sasuke.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as
yeah, we already you know how we cover the chapters. We go page by page, so we got it. Yeah, I really don't. We actually did do that. So.
All right, we'll go to the anime.
Okay. Now the anime, a lot of people liked it. The opening scene, the whole thing of him, Hashirama. Well, there was a few things that seemed different. If I don't remember from the manga actually seeing his brother getting taken, almost killed by Tobirama. I don't remember that from the manga.
Oh,
I don't either.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of. I like what they did for the most part, tying things together. but it did seem that it was different from the manga.
And they glossed over Izuna getting injured in the manga, if I remember right. Well, I remember
Yeah.
right.
Oh, they showed it. They showed the second Hokage stabbing him through. Well, I do remember that.
I
Oh,
think
you
in the
did?
manga that they just showed Izuna like getting injured and they never showed how. And I guess in the anime they just expanded it and made Tobirama the one who did it.
I
Yeah.
remember Tobirama doing that dragon or whatever. I don't know the name of that jutsu. Well, it's basically a sword stabbing him. They did show that.
The
Well,
Kashi
you
did
know,
that dragon jutsu against Zabuza.
With the water dragon?
Yeah.
well, not the water. Well, his sword. I don't know. He tried to name it some other thing. It just basically thrusting it through him.
And I don't, and that I felt pretty confident. I just didn't remember that. Like I said, I might have just flown past it, a panel or something. But and then the part where he's holding Azuna, and I thought that was I didn't was that in the manga also, because I don't remember that either. That Azuna was being held. He's the one that said no, to hell with him.
Yeah, I think so. That was
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so that was definitely in there. Okay. And
Well,
let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
I expected him to be stronger than that. He should have had Susanoo, right? His brother. So I expected a better fight than,
You would think
unless
he
it was
would.
towards the end of the fight. He shouldn't have been taken out by a sword like that. He didn't look like ultra tired, like Madara and Hashirama at the end of their fight. They've been going at it, but Tobirama and Madara's brother, they didn't look like they had too much, scars or nothing like that. It
Yeah,
didn't seem like.
Yeah, how about the fact that Azuna and Toby have been faced square and off since they were small?
Yeah.
And he had his Mangekyo Sharingan, right?
Yeah, and
I expected, that just seemed like a regular fight between ninjas, lower class, instead of top notch.
I have something to say, but I need somebody to clarify this for me. Alright. A flashback. There was a time when Itachi and Sasuke was fighting, and Itachi was explaining about Madara, how he got the Sharingan.
Yeah.
Okay. When he explained it, he said that Madara took Azuna's eyes. Like, it was a scene that Azuna was by his bedside, and then Madara took his eyes.
Yeah.
This one, it showed that he was dying and dying, but it left that part off. Is it that same connection that he mentioned, or it was just like it was redirected somewhere else?
Well, I want to throw this may not answer your question, but if I remember from the manga that long after that Azuna didn't die until after Madara had already taken his eyes, and he like fought or did stuff even without his eyes after. That he didn't die the same time Madara took his eyes. That was how I remembered it from the manga.
Right, you're right.
Yeah. I think from Hashirama's perspective, I don't know, he couldn't have known that. Or he shouldn't have known that.
Well, what I'm saying is the anime version, while it isn't perfect, it seems better and more squared away than the manga version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't like the manga version. It just.
No, because when they had that scene, that part when Hachi was talking to Sasuke about Madara, how he got the, it just kind of like, it got like a light bulb in my head about why they didn't show that part. And, like, it just showed a different angle, but I didn't know what angle was, like, the actual thing.
You know what? That's right. I wasn't thinking about it, but they show Madara getting the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan from his brother's death. In the manga, he takes his eyes, and that's how he gets the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan when he's alive. Like you said, Steve, he's alive without eyes or whatever, and then later on he gets killed. I'm guessing that it must have been too gory for young kids to see, eyes gouged out and then living or something, after it. I'm not sure.
Let me ask you this: which made more sense, for him to go ahead and lose his eyes and die, or him to actually go out and battle without having eyes?
Well,
So I think
neither
it was
one
kinda-
really makes sense because the anime shows Madara going straight from 3-Tomo Sharingan to Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan.
Yeah.
Well,
We even get
well
to see
now,
Mangekyou.
well now realizing that Madara is able to activate abilities even without having eyes. It didn't make any sense then, and to me it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for Izuna running around without his eyes being effective. Okay, so for me, the anime version here makes more sense because it just kind of it's a cleaner, into Azuna. It makes more sense, but that's just the way I look at it.
Yeah, I understand. It was shown twice, but those two times it showed it in a different way.
You know what they could have did? They could have literally just made Izuna die right there, Madara cry, make his crying awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan, and then they could have had Hashirama say, in the narration, Madara took his brother's eyes in order to take his power to avenge his clan. You don't have to show it. It doesn't have to be gory. Just say, Madara took the eyes after awakening his MS, and then he got eternal MS. It would have been so easy, just like that.
They kind of glossed over. I think they glossed over.
I think it was a mistake by the studio. I think they screwed up.
Yeah, I caught that part and I didn't understand. I want to see if somebody was like, can clarify that for me.
Now let's see, and then I'm going to jump around here. I don't have this scripted out like I do for a lot of stuff, but so we have the whole thing about them. I did like the part about when they, which is from the manga, when they both skipped the rock across and gave each other a warning. But the families, and the battle of the family, that was, if I remember from the manga, the two fathers, I don't think they actually engaged up close. I thought they were at a distance, and they threw their knives. And the kids, the two young Azuna and Tobirama, rushed in, and so it was a little different. It didn't. I don't know if it necessarily changed everything because the dialogue seemed to be the same, but the whole feel of it.
I thought they were squared off. I thought the two fathers had squared off, but
Well, I thought they were more at a distance, just watching their sons, and they both had the same idea that after they'd engaged, they would nail the other one. But either way, I thought that held up pretty well. What do you guys think of the whole anime, this episode overall? I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, Steve.
I really enjoyed it.
Life in the Boot.
Animation.
Hold on, James. Life in the Boot. Go ahead. I haven't heard from you in a little bit.
One thing when I was watching this episode, I was thinking of one thing. I feel like Steve's gonna hate this. I know you hate seeing fathers punch their sons, so.
Oh well, you know what's well. Oh, you mean from
Rock Lee.
Rock? Well, yeah. Well, no. You mean in his? Yeah. That was a pretty disturbing deal. But no, believe it or not, I actually had a harder time, with that whole kid punching thing than I did the attempted murder of a kid. This was war. This felt like war to me. That's just like, hey, I'm here and bam, that's like domestic violence right out, right off the bat there. So no, I didn't hate it. Thanks for reminding me of that, Life in the Boot. Okay, James, go ahead.
I was just saying I enjoyed the fight and the exchanges and all that. I thought that it was pretty good this week and
a lot of high action, right?
Yeah, it was good seeing the fight animated. I think I would have liked if they would have spent more on the fight itself between Hashi and between their golems and then what's that thing called Susanoo.
Yeah. Well, that's been a big problem. And I'll get right back to it. It's been a big problem in Naruto. Is it seems like there's some parts that we could watch a lot more, and they're just short. And then there's other stuff like he feels like he has to throw in fillers. So the pacing in this is the pacing from Kishimoto has always been weird and off to me. You know?
Yeah, I think the fight could last a couple episodes, I believe. And
Yeah,
then just going back and forth and Hashi's flashbacks with his buddy.
yeah,
I kind of wanted to see the whole fight.
yeah. And Life in the Boot, what you talked about in the beginning, the whole thing. I'm glad that we had like an Azuna Tobirama thing happen, but hell, that could have taken, you know, that could have been an interesting fight in and of itself, right? That could have been something that was really, you know, drawn out. You know?
Yeah, I wanted to see his out powers, to tell you the truth. I wanted to confirm if he had the same powers as Madara, like Itachi and Sasuke.
So, Michael Gethman, you got anything?
Well, I thought that it was. I didn't notice that Madara had wings on his Susanoo in the manga, but I definitely noticed them in this anime, and I was wondering why they didn't show him like attempting to fly around or something, because it looked like he could fly.
Yeah, I don't know. But then again, he was trying to use his weapon at close up, so I don't know if, you know, what he was wanting to use at range with his Susanoo.
Yeah, and when the Susanoo started walking, I liked how they did the thuds on the ground. It made it look like it was really massive.
Of course, that dragon thing he had, you know, Hashirama had, I guess, could just reached up there and pulled him down. He might have already done that.
Yep.
I don't think any other village ever messed with the Leaf with those two, you know, running around, because wasn't no way you was gonna win. They can beat you by themselves. They can take over your country. Just one of them. So just imagine both of them just go in your country. Ain't really nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I think that was the whole point of them joining forces, I believe. So no one else could really stand up against them. So it should kind of squash conflicts. At least not directly, anyway.
What do you think about the extremes? Hashirama's was ready, literally ready to kill himself for peace.
I can appreciate it myself. I can appreciate it. I think they've been fighting for so long, you know, and it's not there was no end in sight. So if he could do something that finally ended, I don't see any reason for him not to be willing to go to that extreme for it. You know, trying to break the cycle of hatred.
Right?
Didn't
Of course,
they
there's
show,
yeah.
I said, didn't they show both of those fights in this episode? Like really quick, like the first fight, well, the first good one, and then the second fight at the Valley of the Ends. It just seemed like it just went too quick for me.
Yeah, it was way too quick. This is this should have been stretched out for what, 2 or 3 episodes?
Yeah, but then they had to have one more big one when Hashi takes him out.
Yeah, they did show it. That was it.
Oh, that wasn't it.
Towards the end when he had the fox, yeah, that was it.
He didn't have the Foxes episode. He had just a Susanoo.
Yeah, just Susanoo.
Yeah.
I think the Valley of the End fight ends with him stabbing him through the chest. So he's not. So story time isn't finished yet.
We haven't seen the Thousand Hand Buddha yet either.
He did summon it.
Yeah.
Let me hurry up and redo it.
Yeah,
Let me open it up.
Whoa, yeah, we saw the Buddha.
We did?
You saw the wood dragon and the golem, not the Buddha.
No,
Yeah.
not. I mean, yeah, we've seen it several episodes ago, didn't we?
That was him and
Yeah, that was at the very beginning of the flashback.
Yeah, that was Lance and Hasha's last fight.
Okay. Right. I didn't mean in this one.
He pulled a Tarantino. He kind of started at the end and then he went back to the beginning. Like he didn't. We seen the Buddha, but those are 2 different fights. What you guys are talking about? The one where he pulls out the fox and puts the Susanoo armor on it.
Yeah, that's the
Like
last
the one
fight
at the
they
end of
had,
the
right?
episode. Yeah, that was the last fight they had. But the fight that happened at the end of this episode was like, it was the fight right before the village was formed. the fight where he pulls off the Buddha and the QB, that's like after the village has been around and Madara went off to do his own stuff.
Right.
Right. Madara has to become butthurt one more time first
Yeah,
before he goes all out.
he pulls the switcheroo on his
Back to that first fight.
allegiances.
Oh, that was the last episode. Where
I think we're gonna go back to that first fight. You know, when they showed the Buddha and the QB fighting with the Susanoo wrapped around it. I think after the next episode when Madara goes rogue or whatever, and Hashirama has to fight him again at that battle. That's when they're going to show the full extent of that fight that they showed when Hashirama first began his flashback.
Well, in the manga, I think that's how the flashback ended. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
If I
don't
remember
think the anime
correctly.
did anything different with that. It should have been the same.
yeah, I guess they
I
really
really
just teased it
the-
like the past 2 episodes.
And then it goes back to present time, and that's when.
All right, well,
Yeah.
just wrapping up. But overall, it seemed like I like what they did, and it seems like the feedback is pretty positive. That even though we wanted more of it, that it did kind of square things away, and it was a good episode.
I mean,
Felt
there's
rushed.
a lot of good things about it. Overall, the fighting was awesome. You got to see, the eternal strife between both the clans and Madara and Hashirama wanting to have peace, but being forced to grow up as enemies, and the struggle that it took for Hashirama to get him to stop, and try to overcome. There's a lot of content, a lot of good stuff in this episode. I rated like 8 out of 10. It was really good.
All right, anything Naruto-wise, chapters, episodes, anything you guys want to talk about before we go ahead and close this week out? Anything you guys want to bring up?
I feel like this would have been a really good week for the studio to put out 2 episodes. Sometimes they do that. Like they did it with the whole Naruto's birth.
Yeah.
They had like 2 episodes in a week just to cover more ground because it's kind of a lengthy story that Hashirama's telling. And I feel like they could have put out.
I would have liked to see when Hashirama got his Moken powers. Like his wood abilities. Like that would have been cool. Like when he awakened it. In relation to like Kishi could have made it like Madara awakened the Sharingan and like Hashirama also awakened the Moken, and give us a little more info instead of just like, oh, they grew up and they've been fighting each other all this time. It would have been nice to see a little bit of how those wars between them really got intense, when they first revealed their powers to each other and stuff.
Yeah, I would love to hear that myself. Like a backstory. How do you know you can manipulate wood?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
Hashirama was just like a great ninja when he was a kid, but then all of a sudden he's a man, he's got all this wood powers.
Yeah, what you think trained them? Like everybody got trained by something. Snakes, frogs.
I mean, he's a
Well-
sage, so he should have went somewhere to get natural training, right? Must have just came
Yeah.
naturally to him, I don't know.
And I hate to say this, but you saw both of their dads were useless.
Yeah.
They didn't have particularly notable jutsus. It was all through their kids. So yeah, I wonder who I do. It'd have been great to see who was their teacher.
Yeah,
If they had a teacher.
Yeah, I don't think they had enough time to sit around at school.
Kishimoto's biggest problem is he doesn't have enough exposition. He really needs to expand on his characters and his face, his mythos or whatever, that he's gonna, plan things out.
Well, he picks and chooses who he wants to flesh out. I mean, there's been a lot of characters he's picked that have pretty extensive backstories and exposition, but there's just so many characters you can't get to all of them.
Well, I know, but I mean, Hashirama and Madara are big characters in the story.
Well, I'm not.
the main
I know that, but like even they have a lot of exposition. It's hard to get to all of it. You know what I'm saying? Each person is obviously going to have a training regimen. You can't show everyone's. That's why he's got to kind of pick and choose. Is what I'm saying. Unfortunately, that's I wish
Really?
he could get to everything.
Really, he
Well-
could always come back and do it. you know, in the future, if Naruto over, he can always come back to it.
You know, story-wise, I don't know why this series. We went into the war, which is the end, but I don't even know why Kishimoto necessarily had to end the series. I mean, I'm wondering how, because it's obvious there's no shortage of creativity from this guy to create the characters, you know, to do everything. And as we've all said, if he would have just slowed down, he could have expanded a lot on what he already has, and he could have gone on. I don't know, he could have gone another 5 or 10 years or whatever. But I'm just wondering if the guy is burnt out or something. He's just.
It's either that or he's just really excited to get to work on Mario.
Right, he's got his next project or whatever.
Yeah,
so he's done with this one. He's ready to go to the next one.
That Mario was a one shot, I think.
Mario?
Yeah, it was a one shot he did. I don't think he's gonna.
Is there a Luigi involved?
No, it was some.
He wants to write his next manga, Mario. I think it's like a mafia manga that he wants to write next time. But I don't know, if he's rushing Naruto because he's excited to do that, or if he's rushing Naruto because he's sick of it. Who knows?
There shouldn't even been a war, to tell you the truth. Toby could have been captured Naruto. You remember when he teleported right to him when I was at the little cabin with Kakashi and Yamato? Could have just stuck Naruto in and been done with it, but.
You know, those are great mysteries of this manga. You know, it could literally be how it should have been manga. Because he could have teleported into the city at any time, captured Naruto in his sleep, after eating some ramen, and go on about the business.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing in any series. It's just like with Lord of the Rings. Why didn't the Eagles take him to the mountain to destroy the ring? It's.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, if you guys don't mind, let me go ahead and throw this out here. And a little bit different stuff. Well, we've talked about this before too. How much longer do we have? I thought July the series would be done, and it's pretty clear that I'm wrong. July is not when the series, at least not this year. Okay, I did unfortunately say 2014, so if it ends July 2015, I still won't get credit for it. But are we talking next year now? Guys, we talking late this year? When's the series?
I think my original prediction was September, right? What did I say?
September? Okay.
So, but I don't think I'm going to go with that now. It seems like he's still doing a lot of exposition on, Kaguya, and there's still the whole Sasuke thing to go through. And I'm going to say another 6 months from now.
Okay.
I'm going to go August 2016.
August 2016?
Oh, yeah.
You're going 2 years, man. Whoa!
Yeah, because, it took 2 years ago. Was it 3 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago, we got introduced to Obito. And he's still around. Yeah, and I think Kage at least gets 18 months.
But that's because he's Obito. He's always around.
Yeah.
Oh. You know what I love is at the end battle that all the power-ups and everything, that Sasuke brings Obito back as an Edo to fight for him. I love that.
Since Naruto since Obito gotta die, why Guy isn't dead? Because that guy was crumbling like lava. He should be dead, to be honest.
Well, I think Obito did die. I think that he can bring you back if you just die, like just for a little while. But Guy, that was another problem too. Guy didn't die. All right.
Guy should have died just instantly.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, he should have.
I was just saying, I knew that Obito wasn't dead, because Kishimoto didn't give him any exposition on, it wasn't a dramatic death, or it wasn't there was no flashbacks accompanying it, nothing. I was like, there's no way an important character like Obito is just going to be gone like that. Makes no sense. So I knew that was the reason why he wasn't dead. And the villain always monologuing about how the hero is dead usually means nothing because they don't know what they're talking about. Well,
so. If you don't mind, wait a minute. If you don't mind, let's go ahead and segue that into a question: how is Obito going to die? Is he just going to sacrifice himself? Is he going to what? How close are we to Obito being dead? Is Obito going to make it out of July? Is he going to be, does he still have a couple more months?
I'm thinking February.
What year?
2015.
I think he'll be dead in 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
He's terminal.
I don't think we'll see Obito fighting anytime soon. Well, after he gets Sasuke, I just hope like he just be crippled to where he's done. Well, he don't have to die instantly, but he shouldn't be able to fight anymore.
But
So,
I don't want him to die now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's what is it? Holmberg syndrome?
He's the best, right? That's what you feel like. You feel like, why
I'm
would
getting that. So what do they call that syndrome? Like when a kidnapper?
Stockholm syndrome. You've got Stockholm syndrome with Obito now.
I think so. I used to hate him. Now I actually like him. I think he might be the best character in Naruto, personally.
Right. Well, wait a minute. Better than Itachi?
no, he'll never get that good.
Already dead.
Oh, you have to think about it.
Because Obito from the beginning, he went balls to the wall,
Yeah.
He has willpower out of anybody. He almost converted Naruto. If Hinata wasn't there, Naruto would have took his hand.
Yeah, he's in a state of shock, though. I mean, let's not get it twisted.
No. Naruto was reaching for his hand.
Yeah, and he had also just, witnessed that dude's death, Neji, right in front of his eyes. So, I mean...
You can't talk no jutsu to talk no jutsu master.
Exactly.
Fan of Naruto is. There ain't no way you're going to talk him out of any of that.
Yeah, I still don't see why exactly is Neji dead, though. I mean...
Hey, think about this. Black Zetsu wasn't able to control Obito. He was able to control Black Zetsu, and Black Zetsu was Kaguya's will. He left that.
Speaking of people dying, haven't nobody died. I'm glad Neji's dead. Well, somebody had to die. God.
Yeah, Madara died.
We need about 15 more people to die before I can be satisfied about this war.
Well, Neji died, Sakaku died, and Ino's father died, and the water guy.
They didn't do anything in the series. They didn't do anything in the series. Come on.
I don't know. When that chapter came along, it was pretty serious.
Well, I want Kakashi, some of the main characters. We need some of them to show impact. This isn't a war to me.
You deathmonger.
Them dying.
It's not a war.
I ain't have no emotion of them dying. I was
it's
like,
not just like the historian, though. So someone's got to be able to witness the greatness of Naruto.
Well, you got the whole ninja army. Everybody's gonna be praising his name.
Well, he's no Jesus now, but someone has to see it up close. But Sakura's account is going to be skewed towards Sasuke.
Well, you want one person, Sakura, to do it instead of 1,000 ninjas that you don't know the name. Going back to other countries talking about them.
No, if you leave it to Sakura, she wound up being Hokage. If you leave it to Sakura, Sasuke wound up being Hokage. Even though he may have killed a few people to get there, it doesn't really matter.
I don't think Sasuke did anything too bad.
In the grand scheme of things, he didn't. Just the way he went around it about it.
Right.
So the folks he took out had to go. It's just the fact that it's the fact that he did it. But he still need to go though, because man.
I think that Sasuke's popularity, like when he does bad things, his popularity goes up. When he attacked the Kages, his stock went up. When he, of course, made him an international criminal. When he tried to kill Sakura, his stock went up. A lot of people. I mean,
he's the bad boy.
Yeah, he is.
Which one? Which one when he tried to kill Sakura? Which one are you talking about? The one with in Orochimaru's lair? The one where she was with Kakashi and Naruto, or what was the third one? Oh, I forgot the third one.
He only directly tried to kill her like once. I mean, the other times were kind of like
just a beat down.
It wasn't really direct.
No, it was 3 times we tried to kill her.
Well, in part 1, he tried to kill her. She was trying to run out all all emotional. And you got in between her and Naruto's fight.
And then even the delay thing, he took a hit when he tried to nail Karen, and then afterward, people got sick of her. Whenever she was like, "Oh, Sasuke killed," and they said, "Oh gosh, I wish he would have killed her." So even when he takes a hit, he still comes back, popularity-wise. Sasuke when he does bad things. So I don't know. But anyway, okay. I think we're getting. I think we could go a lot longer, I'm sure. But Obito, wow. So well, anyway, I'll just stay on that just a couple more minutes before we go ahead and close this out. So James, you've turned a corner, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you've kind of been going this way for a while. I mean, I've been watching your comments and everything. I think you've kind of. You know, one thing I'll say that's helped Obito a lot, as soon as you get the whole Rin thing out of the picture, because that was dragging him down like an anchor. Because of Rin.
You just see how badass he is. He's a badass.
He's not a badass.
Yes, he is. All the shit
He's
done.
worthless. He keeps being wishy-washy on both sides. I still hate him.
He got brainwashed though. I mean, he's a good guy at heart. He's
not a good guy. He's worthless.
Can you imagine being trapped in a room for like 20 years?
I gotta read. Hold on, I gotta read. We'll give you time, but I gotta read something from Conley Bob 9 about Obito.
Oh, no.
He's going for real, and this time there's no coming back. Not even for the Cockroach King. If I can make the hangout this chapter, okay, I'll bring the cyber champagne. I'll uncork the lid. And we are all going to have a party worthy of the gods. That's what we're going to do. Sayonara, bye-bye, you Chiha Nobito. Okay, that was definitely not a fan of Obito. No. I like having people like all the way around the issue, because he is a complex. He's turned into a complex character, which is help. I hate Obito, and I hate him because I'm honest. Okay, the whole Toby thing, I hate it. I hated the stuff. The reason I hated it, even though I could kind of understand being corrupted, manipulated by Madara. But there's more than one side to any issue. There's always plenty of sides. So, I just want to be honest about it. But I like it, and I like seeing people, because we're just, as fans, we develop and change too, right? Our opinions. So it's good. But I mean, let me ask you, James, because I know NW Orders has been a big Obito fan for quite a while. What was the first thing when you started going, oh my God, I'm actually starting to sympathize, or I'm seeing this guy differently? Was there like a thing, or just accumulated all of a sudden, or what happened?
I think my feelings for Obito developed slowly. He wouldn't go away. I think he just kept coming back. And also, the more I started thinking about it, everyone wants him to go, but I think the person who really needs to die in Naruto and not come back is Kabuto.
Kabuto.
He's the reason for this entire war. Because the war could have went off without a hitch, there wouldn't have been no Madara, but he brought that sucker back.
Well, Black Zetsu was behind everything. He's the real reason for the war. So.
Black Zetsu use the reanimation jutsu?
No, but I mean, pretty much there wouldn't be a war if it wasn't for Black Zetsu doing what he did to Madara.
Yeah. I would still hold Obito more responsible. Black Zetsu's crazy responsible for all this manipulation over a long time. But, I mean, it was Kabuto that went to join Obito. Obito would already declared the war. I declared the start of the Shinobi War, and he was clearly doing it. Kabuto just, he knew what was going on, and he added to it. Kabuto didn't start it, so I would still hold Obito more responsible for the war.
Yeah, but if Kabuto hadn't joined forces with him, after Obito got defeated by Naruto and Sasuke, that would have been it. The manga would have been over.
Well, if Obito was smart, he should have teleported the the Jubi to a different location instead of just trying to awaken it right there, because wasn't no point really.
And Kabuto's not a very popular character either. He's too many. Even though he finally got a backstory, it was really it's another character that didn't seem to get closure or whatever.
And his backstory was bizarre too.
Yeah.
I mean, Obito was confident that Madara couldn't do anything because he had no idea Madara had a way to manipulate him into using the Rinnegan to revive Madara's body.
What?
So obviously he kept Madara around because Madara was helping him to achieve the goal of the Moon's Eye plan.
Well, I'm pretty sure he had an idea that Madara could do something. Since the
Obito,
thing was on his heart.
yeah, I remember the seal. I think Obito asked Kabuto, and I quote, "Are you insane bringing that guy back?"
Well,
I don't know if he said it that way.
Obito. You can go.
Go ahead, bro.
Well, Obito was about to attack him, even though he brung out all the Itachi members. Heck, he didn't have no choice, really, to bring him back.
But that's the thing. Obito never had any intention of bringing Madara back. Never had any intention of following Madara's will. He was doing it because he legitimately believed in the plan, and he believed it was his war, his world to save, whatever. Which is similar to Madara, because Madara said he wants to save the world too with Infinite Tsukiyomi. So they weren't that different, those two.
Instead of saving the world, he would have destroyed it just by activating it.
Yeah, because
Even
Madara.
if Kaguya didn't come back, he would have killed everybody.
Yeah, I don't think Madara knew that people would turn into Zetsus. I think he literally thought that everybody would just have this perfect dream.
Well, remember what he told Kabuto? Know about the jutsu you're activating, or something to that effect.
Yeah, Itachi.
So you should know the drawbacks of jutsu or something, or
Yes, that's it.
yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're about at the end of it. I'm sure we could go longer, but yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We can always talk a lot more because we're just talking about the whole series. We can always talk more about that next week. So
Can I tell the viewers about my channel real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. And as a matter of fact, make sure you put a link and everything.
I will. Okay, guys. I just started. I just started putting videos on my channel. I'm gonna put them all in the comments below. All the links to the individual videos. If you like, my content, please subscribe and make sure to comment and tell me what other anime or manga you want me to check out, and I'll definitely look into it. Everything is going to be on the bottom, so I won't explain what I'm doing right now. But 2 new manga videos are going to come out soon. Rubel Blatt manga and 7 Deadly Sins. I'm going to do reviews on those and discussion about it. So thanks. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, cool. Remember, go ahead and he'll put his links down and everything. You guys go check out his channel, his videos. And Life in the Boot, of all people. You're wanting me to bring up Hunter x Hunter? Really? I did kind of, okay. Hunter x Hunter, everybody. What, Michael Gethman, you just got caught up, right?
Yeah.
So you got caught up, so you're happy with it. Anthony got me, he stayed on for like almost 2 years or something to get on it. NW Order was talking about how great it was. Sean, you got into it. So Sean, Michael Gethman, I've helped to pester you guys or whatever to get into the series. So you guys give it a shot. Hunter x Hunter, it's a really solid series. It's very tough to get into to begin with because it starts slow. So I appreciate the. Well, anyway, Life in the Boot. Are you wanting me to? Are you just surprised? Are you saying that because you're into it now? You're reading it or watching it?
It's gonna take me another 4 months.
You got the wrong way to look at this, man. You should be enjoying it. Just slow down and enjoy it.
Are you enjoying it?
Where are you at in it? Have you actually seen or read any of it?
A 4th episode right now.
4th episode?
I'm nowhere.
Okay, well, yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. I don't think until you get to the, like I said, until you get to the prisoners, you're not really the long walk, huh?
Yeah, when I get into it, I'm just gonna start watching. Try to watch like 5 episodes a day.
I would
on a good day, on a great day.
It's
Yeah, but you're in the
man.
long walk right now. You're in the long walk right now. That's not. You're not in the crack stage. You're not anywhere near it. So that's the hard part. The long walk. Okay, James. That you can thank Life in the Boot for reminding me. How are you doing with your Hunter x Hunter there, James?
It's been going slow. I think I'm still on manga chapter 1.
Okay, that's pretty slow.
Analyzing
What
every
you mean you
page.
haven't even started?
Michael Gethman, though, you went all the way with the manga, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to go. Some of the artwork's not that super. All right, well,
No,
anyway,
the dialogue's good though.
That's an
Yeah.
understatement.
yeah, it is. It's pretty good. All right, let's. Thanks, Life for the Boot, for reminding me. All right, we closed out. You guys are awesome once again. We'll do this again next week. Until next time, take care.